Hi, it's Julian Reddish here from Sydney, Australia. I had a stroke 15 years ago. Years ago when I was 17, and I was driving and I had a head-on collision and the car accident saved my life. And since this time, I've experienced all sorts of different things to do with stroke recovery, and I'm about to interview Chris Dietrich from the US. I noticed him on Instagram a few months ago, and I noticed that he had very, very similar side effects to stroke, to people that have had strokes. And it turns out he has had a TBI. Hi, Chris. I was just doing a little introduction.
Sorry
Just
about that. I was so excited to get started.
Yeah, thanks.
But go ahead.
I was just saying that TBIs, traumatic brain injuries, are very, very similar to strokes. I thought you had a stroke, to be honest, and I was thinking, wow, this man is a powerhouse. He's recovering so incredibly well, and I got to chat to him. I got to see how he remains so focused and motivated. But how are you going, Chris?
Great. It's Tuesday evening here, so good morning to you in Australia.
Yeah,
Where
thank you.
where where are you? Where in Australia are you?
I'm in Sydney.
Okay, cool. It turns out that by the coincidence of it, I was looking at my phone. I arrived in Perth
Oh,
August 10th today, 2018. 3 years ago. It's the 3-year anniversary of me arriving in Perth, in Australia for my first trip there, which is very random, cool.
oh wow. What
So
what did you think of it?
I loved it. Oh, Perth was amazing. With all the lots of red wine, golf, kangaroos, lots of fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah,
That
good
that
trip.
that
Yeah,
that's great. Well, maybe we'll get stuck right into it. I've written a few different questions down here. So obviously, traumatic brain injuries are very similar to stroke, and I'm developing a stroke recovery guideline program to help other stroke survivors follow to be able to recover
yeah, wonderful.
as best as they can. And I
Yeah,
thought I'd ask you a few questions to see.
sure.
Yeah, so Chris, do you reckon you could share us your story of how you had a traumatic brain injury?
Yeah, certainly. I will go back to 2008, March 3rd, 2008. I was in a severe car accident. I hit the left side of my head and was in a coma for 3.5 weeks, almost a month, and then went from a coma to what the doctors called a vegetative state. So
Oh,
I still wasn't really awake for another month and change, maybe sometime around May, the first day I can actually remember again. And since I injured the left side of my head, again, similar to a stroke, one side of my brain and then one side of my body, the right side of my body was paralyzed when I woke up. And I'm not certain with all the strokes whether you remember it or not, but I had no memory of anything prior to my injury. I remember my family, I remember my friends and stuff, but
yeah,
experiences prior to were very foggy,
yeah,
which was challenging, certainly, just waking up, laying in a hospital bed, half paralyzed with no idea what I was doing there. But with great family support, I immediately began to push forward, to start working, to accomplish, to start getting better. I was 18 years old only. I had big college plans ahead of me. I had a big life that I had planned. And I knew I didn't want to have to do it in a wheelchair. I wanted to achieve all my goals, and it would be a lot easier being able to walk, being able to use my right arm, everything of the sort.
mm,
Certainly. So I started in therapy, and even when I was not in therapy, I was always working to improve myself, both physically and mentally. And I've been fortunate enough, if you've seen posts and things, to continue that over the last 13 years and still be improving today, and it's fantastic.
mm.
So, of course, it's a very quick summary, but I know we only have 30 minutes. You've got to go to work.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're not all on vacation like me. So I understand. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I
so that was the start of my journey.
yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for sharing.
Certainly.
Everything that you just said, then I could really relate to too. Like your memory kind of disappears, and it is all quite foggy. So it's kind of
Yeah.
about rebuilding our life and getting back to, I guess, where we were before the accident takes a lot of effort. And I was wondering, what do you think has helped you recover the most?
Again, I brought up family support. My father has been an incredible patient advocate, the unpaid patient advocate, who
Yeah.
who he's always researching, doing research for me to find new opportunities for therapy and just for life in general. But I would say being optimistic, staying optimistic with everything. With our brain injuries, neuroplasticity is an incredible tool. So even when we don't feel like we're improving, our brains are still making incredible progress. That's what I've
Mm.
experienced, at least. We're young when we've had our injuries, fortunately. So we're always making progress as long as we keep trying, and as long as we stay optimistic and we believe in ourselves. And I've got a great level of confidence that I've developed over the course of my injury as I've continued to progress and progress in life, that I've got a vision of myself that's not, I don't think of myself as somebody with a disability. I really hate that term.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with me. I can do everything just like everyone else can. And
Mm.
that's the vision I have of myself in my head. And so I'm always working to get closer to that in real life. And that's all that really matters to me. Yeah. So I think that has been the number one um, and what's helped me to improve and continue to improve 13 and a half years later now.
Mm. That's so good. And now
Yeah.
you speak very fluently and very well. Was your speech affected at all since you had
I
your?
was, I, from what I can't remember, my parents told me that when I was still in the hospital, I was whispering. I couldn't speak. I could only whisper. But I cannot personally remember that. Again, I've been very fortunate that my speech and everything came back quickly. I remember being in speech therapy in inpatient rehab, and eventually, hey Maddie, thanks for joining us.
Hey,
And
Maddie, good morning.
and eventually, my speech therapist, she had me bring in my SAT books from my high school
Oh,
because she ran out of things to kind of coach me on. And again, it's just the way that my brain was hit. My short-term memory certainly was very poor. Still is not the best. It's continued to improve, thankfully. But cognition and things like that have continued have were not as affected. I can speak Chinese. What I've actually found and what I've used to my benefit is that I'm good at learning languages now,
wow.
different foreign
Okay.
languages.
Oh,
Yeah, I can spell words really well in my head. I can see the all English letters. So what I do, I spell different language, like whatever language the word is, whatever language it is, I'll spell it in English, and then I won't forget how it's spelled. I won't forget how it sounds. So
wow.
it's been a very good skill that I've been able to take full advantage of in life overseas, in different countries,
Okay.
making friends from different countries around the world, showing that I care about other cultures as well.
Mm.
Yeah, so
Well,
it's that well.
I might need to hire you. My girlfriend's Indian, and I can't.
Oh,
I can't really.
I don't know any of the Indian languages yet. No. So that would have to be next. Yeah. No, a lot of the Asian languages, since I've been in Thailand for 5 years, I've
Yeah.
been able to, along with I studied Mandarin Chinese in school, but I've been able to pick up just little bits of many of the different languages that yeah, it's a very important skill. It's a good skill for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
I was actually going to ask you about your Thailand visit, and
Yeah.
I saw a few pictures of you with this beautiful girl, and I was going to ask you, how did your
Speaking
traumatic brain did your
speaking of which, that girl just joined the chat. So
oh
speak
did
perfect,
she?
perfect timing, TK. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
good.
happens.
I was going to ask you, has your traumatic brain injury affected the relationships in your life, like with
Um,
that girl, for
yeah,
example?
well, I just met her right before I came back. I'm in the United States right now.
Yeah,
Um, but I, over the course of years and years, I've met so many people and I've gone out with so many people, but it's been challenging, certainly because of my traumatic brain injury. Not well because I talk. I'm very open. I
yeah,
suffered, still suffer from disinhibition. So the lack of a filter, and I've harnessed it certainly over the years. But I used to go out with people and just blurt out my whole life story about me, like because I'm
yeah,
confident in what I've achieved and overcome, and I thought that, oh, that's all that matters. I'm just going to share everything with everyone. I
yeah.
don't hold anything back. I've gotten better
Wow.
than right now. So over the years, I've been able to develop, but was definitely, my injury has certainly affected relationship building because some people aren't able to handle it, because I'm not perfect physically. I'm certainly not perfect mentally either. So it's a matter of meeting people that are empowering, that are positive people, that are not so much feeling bad for me because of what happened or what happened to us. I'm certain that you feel a similar way. That I like people that are proud of me for what happened to me and what I've been able to achieve and overcome.
Mm,
I think that a lot of
yeah,
people, when watching, that has suffered an injury, has to feel the same way because
yeah.
I don't feel bad for myself, and I don't think you feel bad for yourself, and people
No.
who are achieving goals aren't feeling bad. We're excited for what we have accomplished, and I like the other person that I'm spending my time with, that I'm caring about, to feel the same way.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Yeah.
I I watched this video of you on your website of
Okay.
you said that you had a goal that you wanted to walk that shows an incredible amount of perseverance.
Oh, all right.
Here you are. It cut
All
out a
right.
bit. I
All right.
was I was gonna say I watched a video of you on your website. I forget whether it was your high school or your
Yeah,
university.
that was my first. Yeah, that was way back when, University of Miami. Yeah, a bunch of years ago now.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Uh, yeah, the video of me walking across the college, high school first was the big one. That was I guess, the starting point of me
Yeah.
starting to be able to set goals and then work hard to achieve them and use the accomplishment as motivation to continue pushing forward.
Mm, wow. And
Yeah.
I was gonna ask, do you work now? And you clearly do work now, but how do you manage your work life balance?
Yeah, I'm in a very fortunate position. I've got a great boss and a great understanding team. I'm working remotely in Bangkok. We actually have a company that I helped to write the business plan for in craft beer brewing. We are, we're introducing a new product to the market, so I'm able to work from the computer for now.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, it's great. I've got a great work balance, you know, a lot of exercise. The big thing for me, I've kept a routine where every morning I wake up early and I go to the gym. I use the elliptical every
Mm,
morning. And
yeah.
that's been the cross trainer. That's been the biggest help for me physically. It keeps my legs going. It keeps my legs in kind of perfect walking or running order. And if I start the day right with the good exercise, I know I'm going to be good for the rest of the day. And
Yeah.
I've been elliptical most of the year, almost most every day since what, 2010, 2009. So it's been a very helpful thing for me, staying
Mm.
active.
Yeah, I can't agree. I can't agree more.
Yeah,
I go for a few kilometer walk every
yeah,
day,
good.
and it does set you up into a good state of mind, so you can go and achieve all of the things you want to achieve on that
Sure.
day.
Yeah.
Um, if you could tell any, if you could tell stroke survivors or traumatic brain injuries, give them one piece of advice to be able to keep on improving and move forward in life, what would you tell them, Chris?
Certainly. Well, you took my word. It would be exactly the word, the phrase I use is to keep moving forward, to use everything that's happening to you, whether it's good or bad, as motivation for the future to start accomplishing your goals. You know, set the goals, have the goals in your head, whether you write them down or whatever, but know what you're looking to achieve. And then, not to sound like a bad guy or something, but use everything, use everyone, every interaction you have with people or everything that happens to you, use that, find a way to turn that into fuel to help you push forward. You know, during your beginning recovery, certainly the most, it has to be all about you. You know, you can love other people, you can care for other people, but you have to care most about yourself and your continued improvement, both physically and mentally, the same. And that is what, as long as you have that kind of feeling, you will continue to be able to progress. And I take a lot of videos of myself walking or doing whatever kind of activity, and then they come up as flashbacks like a year or 6 months later on Facebook, on Instagram, whatever. And I see how much I've improved over that amount of time.
Mm,
You know, you don't feel it with a brain injury, with a stroke the same way, just an injury to the head. Again, you're not necessarily improving every day, but you're
no,
always improving. I'm sorry, you're not seeing the improvement every day. If
yeah,
the, if you would agree with that. But you look back 6 months and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe how much better I'm doing now.
yeah,
And
yeah,
that kind of continue to push you forward and to make you continue to want to work hard because you know it's helping. And
yeah,
that, yeah, that's the biggest thing. If something bad happens to you, find a way. If a guy or a girl that you are attracted to, that you're trying to build a relationship with, isn't ready to be with someone who might have a physical or mental injury, use that. Don't feel bad about it. Use that as fuel, as motivation to continue to improve. Not for that person necessarily, but for yourself, to be better for the next person. And
mm,
that, yeah, it's a big thing for me, if you can't tell. Very
yeah,
passionate about moving forward and using everything to your advantage to accomplish whatever goal you are looking to achieve.
yeah. I love that. You said that so well. You said that so well. It reminded me of this thing I heard. If you change the direction of your life by 1 degree or half a degree, like if you continue to try to improve daily,
Yeah.
that will expand so
Interesting.
much.
Yeah. 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 You can see it. Yeah. That little half degree becomes much bigger over time. That's a very good way of putting it. And I
Yeah.
remember I was watching your interview with Maddie from the other day, and I've spoken to her many times. She said that her thing was setting objectives, not necessarily the goals are the big things, but it's the little objectives that you might set every day. It's every morning waking up, and no matter what happened, no matter what craziness happened the night before, it's waking up and going to the gym. It's
Mm,
getting on the elliptical, which is what I've done again, almost every day. And that's the little objective that will get you moving forward to the rest of your day. It's a little thing, and it's something that happens all the time. It's part of your routine, but it helps start setting the roll up for the rest of your day to continue to accomplish your objectives, which helps to accomplish goals and keeps you moving forward and succeeding in our unique brain injury and stroke laden lives.
Yeah.
More exciting, more fulfilling. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I think we've covered everything so far, and I've actually got to head off to rush off to work, but
All right.
maybe we'll do another interview sometime. And
Yeah, we'll do one. Yeah, because I'd love to continue to talk about pushing limits and living in different countries around the world and things like that.
yeah,
And I would love to share with a lot of.
yeah. Well, thank you so much for your
Certainly,
time, Chris.
certainly,
And
Julian. Have a
and
great day of work.
yep,
Try
you too. Yep, sorry.
try to have a great day of work. Yeah,
Yeah,
and yeah.
yeah. Thank you, and thank you so much for your time. And have a good night over there, Chris.
Cheers. Thanks a lot, and thank you for everyone who has tuned in. I hope you enjoyed it as well.
Yeah. Okay. See you later, mate.
Bye bye now. Bye.
Bye.